Hello and welcome to the visualization. So I was just banned until the 10th or 11th by Rockstar Games. Um, I come back from the ban. I come back after the ban the other day, and I noticed that they notified me before I logged in, or as I logged in, that I'm no longer allowed to use. I'm no longer allowed to use text or voice communications, which also means I'm unable to invite people to my CEO or MC. Securo Serve CEO organization as I'm the CEO. Normally, people just say CEO or MC or VIP. So I can't invite people to my CEO, my organization, or MC, which is Motorcycle Club. For having, let's say, several arguments in a single day within 1 hour with several people who were very provocative and harassing, and I insisted that they could talk to anybody else, one or two of these people who essentially provoked me and got me banned. I said you can direct your attention to any other player in this session of 30 players. You don't have to keep talking to me. Granted, I could have muted them or remuted them because I believe I unmuted a guy and it kept on the his harassment kept on continuing. So when players are provocatively harassing me and then reporting me and then seems like a suspicious group effort. I don't think everything is factored into the suspension, as far as why I said what I said or how I said it. And you know so here's a list of reasons why I don't believe the ban uh, holds any weight, or I'm not fully innocent. I was insulting and derogatory or profane, but at the same time, here's some information about Rockstar Games' Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, which proves that they are being extremely negligent and they are not being fair. 12 years of cheating. I'm going to read this, so it's going to sound like a script. 12 years of cheating forced a majority of players to have a lack of game knowledge, which ruined the matchmaking system and reduced motivation of players drastically. And especially after October 2022, for about a full year after October 2022, cheating modded accounts was flooded in the Xbox looking for group post system, and probably still to this day, people trying to sell modded accounts. So 12 years of cheating forced a majority of players to have a lack of game knowledge and ruined the matchmaking system because nobody is doing missions, nobody's helping each other do missions, and so on and so forth. Intensification of competitiveness since there has been an intensification of competitiveness since Xbox One through our ability to record game clips on our console, which mm, is something that all of us gamers or most of us gamers are aware of. So when we are competing, we are also competing publicly. We know that however the battle turns out, it could be publicized. So therefore, there's way more pressure in modern times and way more reason to be devoted to a battle and take it from a virtual reality battle to a little bit of a vocal boxing match, and that's just how it is sometimes. So for Rockstar Games to become speech police all of a sudden is ridiculous. So what else? Lack of lack of cyber stalking prevention for years on end. As a 12-year player, I've been playing since the game was released, pretty much a few months after it was released. 12-year player, and I'm being cyber stalked regularly by 50 to 100 plus people and their friends. I'm being stalked by hundreds of people. Rockstar Games, Microsoft Xbox, Google YouTube, the American government above them all, overseeing it, allowing it. Out of all four of these entities, corporations, governments, none of them prevented cyberstalking specifically these past 3, 4, 5 years. Let's say, well, basically since 2020, I've had some stalkers, and even before 2020, all the way back to 2013 when GTA was released. And so cyber stalking should be taken a lot more seriously, especially with a game offering 8,000 ranks and basically a never-ending amount of time to invest in it. There's going to be people there's going to be people watching me more often because I have more to progress to. Uh, Discrimination by Microsoft Xbox through 4 permanent suspensions, which forced me to rebuild rank, money, and overall progression, which also indirectly forced me to slightly neglect my dog, Jack, who passed away October 2022. I had to keep ranking up to 1,000 or getting to $1 billion earned a total of 3, 4 times because I was permanently suspended 4 times, which is very time consuming. And when I have to defend my cargo or defend myself while I re-progress, it becomes troublesome. And you know, along with that, I have to deal with stalkers watching my live streams, stalking me in game on Xbox Live via GTA. So it it gets very intense, having to redo progression over and over while being cyber stalked, while also being discriminated against, probably blacklisted, shadow banned. The American government, the American version of the English language has the most swear words, the most profanity, the most derogatory words compared to any other language. And a similar language or a country that shares the same language, other countries that share the same language like Australia, England, Scotland, Ireland, they don't have as many. They have the same language, but they don't have cultures that provide, and a society that provides hundreds of swear words and variations of them, or just but versus any other language. I'm sure there's not as many swear words in any other language compared to the American version of the English language. Um, Virtual provocation and vocal harassment should be factors when people are investigated for trash talk. In this case, I was being harassed. I nicely asked him to direct his attention elsewhere. He didn't. Um, 2 different players that day. Uh, Around the 3rd of January or so. Um, GTA is a warfare-based game with intensified 30-player free mode sessions. So when you're at war, you're not happy and friendly all the time. There's intense moments and you're getting frustrated. You see, you know, people dying and you have to do flanks and you have to survive. So yeah, and then on top of that, the competitiveness through the the ability to record game clips. Um, um, so 30-player free mode sessions and GTA being warfare based and everyone's ability to record game clips uh, this allows combat to be more publicly embarrassing, or arguments as well. When you're in a 30-player session and you're arguing and competing, there's extra pressure there too. And um, adding to adding to the pressure of insulting or making comebacks. So this is my request for you to be more forgiving to people like myself who are completely frustrated, who don't cheat, who have had to withstand the community going into shambles while being cyber stalked, and everyone around is just a lot of people are just cheating. And so there's nobody assisting each other. There's nobody wanting to join a crew. I try to build up a crew and I can't because there's a bunch of people on secondary accounts to use a modded account with $16 trillion or a bunch of modified duplicated vehicles. I can't I can't, my mood is constantly altered by everything that I just said every single day. And the provocative interaction menu in Grand Theft Auto Online constantly graying out options as you go to select them, forcing you to overuse your A button and, and trigger a microaggression in your brain. Then, on top of that, um, what else? The ambient noises coming from the city. You drive by, you drive really fast. There's people honking, there's NPC robots honking their horns in their vehicles or yelling at you from the sidewalk, insulting you from the sidewalk. Um, Constant siren sounds from the police or the fire department or the paramedics. Um, constant suspicious horn honks, which seem provocative and a form of mockery sometimes. So, rights, freedom, privacy, equal opportunity to my federal right to equal opportunity, my rights, freedom, privacy, free speech, federal right to equal opportunity to an American dream. So keep this, if you keep this suspension in place and prevent me from networking with people vocally or via text or via simply adding people to my organization or MC, if you're going to stick with this decision and prevent me from networking um, after building up my character for, I don't know, several years, let's say 5 years or so now, 4 or 5 years, I can't make money as good as I could because I can't invite people to my organization or my MC. So I have to grind money solo, which is way less efficient. I can't talk to people vocally and try to get them to join my crew or just interact with a fellow gamer in general. Um, and I can't send them text messages via the cell phone, the iFruit cell phone in game. If you are going to keep this in place, it's like I said, it's a violation of my federal right to equal opportunity employment to an American dream, but also a violation of my federal right to free speech. I know what I said that day was, I'll admit that I used a word, a hate speech word, but I can promise if I am given the ability to speak again on my main character that I will only stick to saying don't hate the player, hate the game. And if they keep complaining and harassing me, I'll say it sounds like you need to re-strategize. So, and if anybody sends me a text message and tries to harass me, provoke me, insult me, I'll send them a cookie emoji and a question mark. And if they keep doing it, I'll send them two cookie emojis and so on and so forth with a question mark. Take Two Interactive, you have a $30 billion net worth. Microsoft, you have a $3 trillion net worth. Xbox, you have like a $600 billion net worth. Prevent cyber stalking, or you're facing a class action lawsuit. Prevent governmental tyranny on your platforms. Cyber stalking, tyranny, um, unfair treatment, um, discrimination. I advise you to prevent cyber stalking, uh, provocative, deceptive harassers and false reporters, and be more fair to your creators and customers. Otherwise, you guys are going to face many class action lawsuits. I can guarantee it. but specific to Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games. I'm sorry for being profane within your community ever. I'm sorry for ever being profane in your community, using any type of foul speech or hate speech. I'm sorry. If you could forgive me. On top of all this, I'm a sound torture victim by vehicles. People have been weaponizing vehicles since October 2022, provoking me, harassing me, and mocking me, following up with the harassment, the sound torture harassment. For the past 3 years, there has been a mass coordinated effort of privacy invasion against me, stalking, vehicular sound pollution terrorism, and sound torture war crimes. October 2022 to April 2024, it was so coordinated, it was in coordination with my thoughts, movements, and speech. Still to this day, it's in coordination with my internet activity and my movements. So whoever keeps doing this, and these corporations that I'm speaking to right now, Rockstar Games in specific, Microsoft Xbox, Google YouTube in specific, maybe tuck your ego, maybe tuck your corporate international ego. No matter how much money you have, and no matter how much our government, our American government, favors you and tries to uh, cover your asses, so to speak, don't think that a class action lawsuit can't be filed by one person for free, because it can.